Hey everyone, Linus here. Today, we're diving into the world of installing Windows. Think of Windows as the brain of your computer. It's the operating system that makes everything work. Knowing how to install it yourself is like having a superpower. It gives you control and saves you time and money. Don't worry, it's not as scary as it sounds. In this guide, I'm going to walk you through every step of the way. We'll go slow, and I promise to use simple language that anyone can understand. So grab your tools and let's get started. Before we jump into the action, let's make sure you have everything you need. Preparation is key to a smooth and successful process. Think of it like gathering ingredients before baking a cake. Just as you wouldn't start baking without all your ingredients, you shouldn't start this process without the necessary tools. First and foremost, you'll need a Windows installation media. This is your primary tool for installing or reinstalling Windows on your computer. This installation media could be a USB flash drive, which should have at least 8 GB of storage space, or a DVD if you prefer. Next, make sure you have your computer's product key handy. This is crucial for activating your Windows copy. The product key is a 25-character code that came with your Windows copy. It's usually found on a sticker attached to your computer or in the packaging of your Windows purchase. Don't worry if you can't find it right now. There are several places you can look. You can usually find it on a sticker on your computer, in the email you received when you purchased Windows, or in the original packaging. Last but not least, make sure your computer is connected to the internet. A stable internet connection is essential. This will help you download the latest updates during the installation process, ensuring your system is up to date and secure. With these essentials in place, you're now ready to begin the installation process with confidence. Alright, let's create our installation tool. We'll be using a USB drive for this example, as it's the most common method these days. First, plug your USB drive into your computer. Next, head over to the official Microsoft website and download the Windows Media Creation tool. This handy tool will help you create a bootable USB drive. Once the tool is downloaded, run it. Follow the on-screen instructions and make sure to select the correct USB drive when prompted. The tool will format your USB drive and copy all the necessary files. This might take a while, so be patient. Once it's done, you'll have a bootable USB drive ready to install Windows. Before we begin the installation, we need to tell your computer to boot from the USB drive we just created. This is a crucial step because it ensures that your computer will start the installation process from the USB drive rather than the internal hard drive. This involves accessing your computer's BIOS settings. The BIOS, or Basic Input-Output System, is a firmware interface that initializes and tests your hardware during the booting process. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. To access your BIOS, you need to press a specific key during startup. This key is often displayed briefly on the screen when your computer is first powered on. You need to press this key quickly, as the window of opportunity is usually very short. This key varies depending on your computer manufacturer, but is usually F2, F10, delete, or ESC. For example, if you have a Dell computer, you might need to press F2. If you have an HP, it could be F10. It's always a good idea to check your computer's manual or the manufacturer's website for the exact key. Keep an eye out for a message on your screen during startup that says something like press key to enter setup or press key for boot menu. This message is your cue to press the designated key. Once you're in the BIOS, you'll be greeted with a variety of options and settings. It might look a bit intimidating at first, but don't worry. Look for a tab labeled Boot or Startup. This is where you can change the boot order of your devices. Here, you need to change the boot order so that your USB drive is listed as the first boot device. This tells your computer to check the USB drive for bootable files before it checks the internal hard drive. After making this change, be sure to save the changes and exit the BIOS. This is usually done by pressing a key like F10, but it can vary depending on your BIOS version. Your computer will then restart, and if everything is set up correctly, it will boot from the USB drive, allowing you to proceed with the installation. Section 5. The installation begins. Booting from your USB drive. Now, with your bootable USB drive plugged in, restart your computer. If you followed the previous step correctly, your computer should boot from the USB drive. You'll see the Windows logo appear on your screen, and the installation process will begin. If your computer doesn't boot from the USB drive, double-check that you selected the correct boot order in the BIOS settings. Sometimes, the USB drive might not be detected properly. In that case, try using a different USB port or a different USB drive altogether. Section 6. Step by step, navigating the Windows installation wizard. Once your computer boots from the USB drive, you'll be greeted by the Windows installation wizard. This wizard will guide you through the rest of the installation process. You'll be asked to select your language, time and currency format, and keyboard layout. Make sure to choose the correct settings for your region. Next, you'll be asked to enter your product key. Remember the 25-character code we talked about earlier? This is where you'll need it. If you don't have a product key, you can choose to install Windows without one. However, keep in mind that you'll need to activate Windows later. Section 7. Making choices. Selecting the right options for you. This section is crucial as it will guide you through the process of selecting the best Windows edition for your needs. The next step is to choose the edition of Windows you want to install. This decision can impact your user experience significantly, so it's important to understand the differences between the available options. You'll likely have options like Windows 11 Home or Windows 11 Pro. Windows 11 Home is designed for everyday users, offering a streamlined experience with essential features. On the other hand, Windows 11 Pro includes advanced features tailored for business and professional use, such as BitLocker encryption and remote desktop access. If you're not sure which edition is right for you, don't worry. It's a common dilemma, and there are resources available to help you make an informed decision. Consider your specific needs and how you plan to use your computer. You can always upgrade to a different edition later. This flexibility ensures that you won't be locked into a choice that doesn't suit your evolving requirements. For instance, you might start with Windows 11 Home and later decide to upgrade to Pro as your needs change. Next, you'll need to accept the license terms. These terms outline the legal agreement between you and Microsoft, detailing what you can and cannot do with the software. Give them a quick read, or don't, I'm not your dad, and click Accept to proceed. While it's always a good idea to understand what you're agreeing to, we know that most people just want to get on with the installation. Now comes an important decision. Do you want to upgrade your existing installation of Windows or perform a clean install? This choice will affect how your system operates moving forward. Upgrading will keep your files and settings, making it a convenient option if you want to retain your current setup. However, a clean install is recommended for a fresh start. It wipes your system clean, removing any old files and settings, which can help improve performance and reduce the risk of software conflicts. Consider your current system state and your long-term goals when making this decision. Section 8. Partitioning your hard drive, creating space for Windows. Now it's time to tell Windows where to install itself. This is where partitioning comes in. Think of your hard drive as a big empty house. Partitioning is like dividing that house into separate rooms. We need to create a room for Windows to live in. You'll see a list of available drives and partitions. If you're performing a clean install, you can delete all existing partitions to start fresh. Be very careful here. Deleting the wrong partition can lead to data loss. Once you have the desired partition set up, select the partition where you want to install Windows and click Next. Section 9. Almost there. The Windows installation process. Congratulations, you've made it to the actual installation process. Windows will now copy all the necessary files to your hard drive and configure itself. This process can take a while, so sit back, relax, and grab a snack. Your computer might restart several times during the installation. Don't panic, this is perfectly normal. Section 10. Troubleshooting tips, common issues and how to fix them. Sometimes things don't go as planned, and you might encounter issues during the installation process. Don't worry. Here are a few common issues and how to fix them. If your computer gets stuck during the installation, try restarting it. If the issue persists, try booting from the USB drive again and choosing the Repair Your Computer option. If you encounter errors related to drivers, make sure you have the latest drivers for your hardware. You can usually find these on the manufacturer's website. Section 11. Congratulations, you did it. What's next? Once the installation is complete, you'll be greeted by the Windows Setup screen. Here, you can personalize your settings, connect to Wi-Fi, and create a user account. That's it. You've successfully installed Windows on your computer. Now you can enjoy your fresh new operating system. Remember, practice makes perfect. Don't be afraid to experiment and explore the different settings and features of Windows. And hey, if you ever run into trouble, you know where to find me.